Mic check, mic check. What it sound like? What it sound like? Mic check, mic check. Good. What it sound? Good one. Let's roll. Let's roll. Peace and power, family. Welcome to the P-Ave Perspective with Mr. O'Neill, where we talk about real issues that hold us back and the steps we can take to rise above them. I'm your host, Mr. O'Neill, and I want to thank everybody for joining in, tuning in this Thursday night. Whether you're watching a live stream or whether you're watching a replay video I post on YouTube, I appreciate you tuning in and spending this time with me. Tonight, we're going to talk about segregation. Segregation. Now, first of all, I want to say, for all the people who were thinking I was meaning some racial stuff, I want y'all to calm down. Calm down. Hey, matter of fact, to a lot of people this week, I shared a video. I think it was, you know what I'm saying, about a little, you know what I'm saying, homestead that they were building, I think in Upper Arkansas. You know what I'm saying, where they were discriminating against people based on color, you know what I'm saying, race, and things of that nature. And let me say this, I'll be the first guy to tell you that I'm against that type of segregation. I'm against that type of segregation because I learned over the years that it's not even about color. It's not about race. It's not about any of that. It's about mindset. It's about mindset. So let me get that straight off the top. I'm not talking about segregation based on race or based on anything like that. But I'm talking about a new kind of segregation, like a strategic separation from people, places, mindsets, and media that do not support our growth, peace, or prosperity. That's what I'm talking about. And just for future reference, we take it back to real segregation. Real segregation. From the 1900s to like the 1960s, during the era of legal segregation, we dealt with oppression, we dealt with racism, but we also thrived. We also thrived in that environment. And though we like to talk about, you know what I'm saying, the racial issue in America, the biggest thing we have to understand is nowadays it's not nearly about race as it was back then. Because now, literally, we are under threat from our own people. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part, because when during legal segregation, our people didn't have nothing but each other. We didn't have nothing but each other. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't depend on anybody else. And don't get me wrong, there were whites from slavery on through segregation and everything that stood with us. You know what I'm saying? And fought with us, fought beside us, you know what I'm saying? And fought to help us get our freedom and maintain our freedom and get our rights. So never forget that part of it. Never forget that part of it. And that along with the people I've met in my life is why I would never discriminate, you know what I'm saying, on anybody based on race. It's not happening. Because I know there are good people in every color of the rainbow. So let me say this. During that time of segregation, the one thing that we have to recognize from those people in those times, like they were facing so many difficulties and so much negativity and everything, but they were able to thrive. They were able to thrive. They were able to start their own businesses, you know, build their own schools, build their own media. I mean, create their own media outlets like newspapers, you know what I'm saying, magazines. They built up neighborhoods where they supported each other, and the neighborhood and community values were strong. And we weren't just thriving. We weren't just surviving. We were thriving. We were thriving, and we were thriving against a negative mindset that was intent on keeping us down and holding us back. And believe it or not, that's the same thing we face today, but the threat is totally different. True, we still have oppressions. True, we still have racism. True, we still have all of that negativity that we've always faced throughout our existence. But what's even worse now is that we are infected as a people. We are infected. And like the craziest part is, a lot of us don't even know it. A lot of us don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? We were infected. And like, believe me, I was infected. And to keep it real, I'm not totally cured. And that's why I had to start practicing segregation. That's why I had to start practicing segregation. When I first moved back to Shreveport, I moved back to Shreveport with the intent of like reconnecting with family, reconnecting with friends, and really putting on for the city that I was born in, the city that I did a lot of negativity in, to the future. And also, just like I tell people, because this city is predominantly our people. You know what I'm saying? This predominantly our people. And you can say, in general, it's considered one of the worst cities where our people exist and where we strong at. And I feel like this is the core of everything. This is the core of everything. And if we could get this city on track and its people on track, there ain't nothing we can accomplish. But tonight, we're not crying about the past. We learning from it, because what we built back in the days, what we built in the past, we can do it today, but stronger and more freer. And first of all, let me say this. Like I said, it's time to start choosing what and who we allow in our mental, emotional, and spiritual space. We have to start segregating from bull, or bullshit, should I say. And really, I know it's going to be hard for a lot of us, because I didn't see it. Like I said earlier, when I first got back, I talked to my little brother. One of my little brothers, he's strong in his faith. He's a Jehovah's Witness. And I like talking to him, because even though he's my little brother, when we were coming up, I used to call him Michael Evans, because he stayed on game. He stayed on game even before the rest of us was on game. But I asked him, why did he hang around everybody? Why didn't he come around, and why? And he broke it down to me simply on some hood street stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he not that he even that guy, but he broke it down to me. He said, would a recovering crack addict hang around crackheads? And that made all the sense. That was all the explanation I needed, because I knew exactly what he was saying. Hanging around people that were still on the negativity, hanging around people that still didn't have their head together, hanging around people that were still making bad choices and bad decisions, it couldn't influence you in a good way. No way, shape, or form. That type of activity could not have a positive impact on us, depending where your life is and where you headed. If you headed trying to head to prison, or you trying to head to an early grave, hanging around that negativity and that type of people, it might be beneficial. More than likely it will, if you hang around long enough. But the majority of us are not trying to do it like that. The majority of us are not trying to do it like that. So I know that, like I tell any person that I deal with on a regular basis, you are who you hang around. You are who you deal with. And as long as you're dealing with negative people and putting yourself in negative situations and stuff like that, you're going to have problems. So for the rest of 2025, we need to start segregating. We need to start practicing segregation. We need to start practicing segregation from toxic people who drain our energy. We need to start segregating ourselves from negative content, the social media content, the man versus woman, black man versus black woman, or the over-sexualized, or just the negativity, just the fighting and the killing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that we have to report on what's going on, but it seems like a lot of these content creators, you know what I'm saying, they not worried about anything but monetizing content. So they'll put anything out there. And just like I tell people from the start, if I never make money from these videos, I'm cool with that, because it's not about making money. It's about positive content. It's about discussing things that I feel like are vital for us as a people. And more importantly, if I ever die, I want my kids to be able to let my grandkids watch these videos to see what page their granddad was on, what their granddad stood for, what their granddad was all about, his opinion on different topics, so they can get a better understanding for that. And really, like I said, the goal is to put on and put my people in position to win. And I'm going to do that by any means necessary. But we need to segregate or practice segregation from wasted time on social media that doesn't feed our purpose. We need to segregate from bad habits. One of the main bad habits is these cigars, and I'm trying my best, but bad habits. You know what I'm saying? That and not just habits, but habits that keep us stagnant. Like A lot of us procrastinate. A lot of us waste a lot of time. You know what I'm saying, during the day. Time that we can't get back. And that's why I say a lot of us, I constantly stress the fact that so many of us are just working and waiting to die. Because if your day consists of going to work, you know, putting in that work that you need to do to make the ends that you need to meet, and you're content with getting off work, just laying around watching TV or chilling, or, you know what I'm saying, and not doing anything productive, then you bound to be in this situation until you pass on. You bound to be working and going home and chilling, or like you said, getting out every now and then, and you know, and there's no benefit in it. At least I can't. Maybe other people can. Maybe that's the best possible life for somebody. I don't know. But to me personally, and to, you know, people around me, the people that I choose to deal with, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. So to break it down even more, if it doesn't bring you peace, power, or progress, it's time to cut it out. It's time to limit it access to you. It's time to limit it access to you. And this isn't hate. This is not hate. If anything, it's healing. This ain't division. It's not division. I'm not preaching dividing from nobody, but it is a form of defense, because this slowly but surely taking us out. This slowly but surely taking us out. And it's crazy. Like I said, we have got to the point as a people where it's cool to be negative. It's cool to entertain negativity. It's cool to feed off of negativity. It's cool to push negativity. And it's just overall cool to have a negative mindset. It's crazy that we got to this point, but we are. And like I said, I've been doing my separation for a while. And just like I said, like, it's not that I have anything against anybody. It's not that I have, but like I said, I have a different mindset. I have a different mindset. I was talking to my kids the other day, and it's like the people my age are either settled down, content with where they are in life, and no real goals. You know what I'm saying? And that's, like I said, I can't say everybody, but there are so many people out here that when you talk to them and when you ask them, what are your goals? It's like there are no real goals. Like, I want to live a happy life. You know what I'm saying? It's not a real goal. Like, every day I wake up, I'm happy. So that I achieve that every day. Even when I'm going through stuff, I'm happy to be able to go through it, because I know a lot of people that's not here to go through stuff. I know a lot of people that don't have the mental capacity to go through stuff. So I'm blessed every day that I wake up. That's a natural, that's a given. But when I hear people say stuff like that, when you ask, 40-plus-year-old people, what are your goals in life? And they just say, well, I just want to be happy. Imagine that. Imagine living a life where you're not happy. And that's something that we can control. But usually, just like I said, it's past issues. It's the fact that we haven't dealt with them. And it's the fact that we allow so much negativity in our circle. And it's crazy nowadays, because we talk about energy. Good evening, Miss Alicia. Thank you for tuning in. But we talk about nowadays so much of us as a people want to discuss energy and vibes and all of this spiritual stuff, when we're not protecting our spiritual. We really not. We really not. And just like I said, we see people in the life to where they get on social media, or you see them in life, and it's like they'll present the perfect everything until you start talking to them, until you really start getting to know them, and you realize that, like I say, we infected. A lot of us are infected. I was infected for most of my life. And just like I said, it was cool. It was hood. It was real. It was, but at the end of the day, I realized it was a lot of bullshit. It was what I call nigga shit. And like, what was it? Too Short said in the song The Ghetto a long time ago. He had a part in there in where the song was going off, and he was talking about niggas. And he was saying that niggas hate niggas. Niggas like seeing niggas die. Niggas watch niggas die. But at the end of that little skit, he said, die, nigga, so black folks can take over. And right now today, that shit is like prophetic, or it was a prophecy when he said it. Like, we really need to get to that point where we let this nigga shit die and real black people start stepping up and taking over. And like I said, everybody is not, 100% on point. I'm not. I'm still working to be a better me. I'm still working to get rid of old habits. I'm still, working to keep my mental straight and keep my mental tight, and not allowing somebody to pull me back into that negativity or pull me into, acting ignorant and getting on that nigga shit. So I'm not saying that everybody has to be perfect around you, but they have to be striving for something if you are. Whatever it is, they have to be striving for something if you are. And to the people, like I said, I'm a life coach. And so I know everybody is not on point. Everybody is not up to par. Everybody don't, know how to get their life together. Everybody don't know how to get on track. Everybody don't know how to set goals, and plan your steps to achieve the goals. Everybody don't understand that. I had to learn it. Once I learned it, I went and got the skills I need to be able to show other people how to do it, because I'm trying to better myself. And I want to help those around me better myself. But to those who are happy and content in the life they live, hey, it's not for everybody. Do you? But I can't hang around you. I can't socialize. I can't be in your presence, because that negativity affects whether we like it or not. We've seen a million times they said people was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We know and understand that spirits are real, and we know that some people around here with evil spirits. And believe it or not, if you're in those people's presence, those evil spirits can affect you, no matter how protected you are. That's why we have to change the way we act. We have to change, the situations we put ourselves in, and the people we put ourselves around. That's the main thing that I realized when I started making my transition. Because being black and being from the hood, one of the things that we had bad, or one of the bad habits that we had, was always feeling like we had to carry some heat to protect ourselves. Anybody that know me know, you never caught me without heat. You never caught me without the heat, because I tell people in a heartbeat, I'd rather get caught with it than to get caught without it. That's on all levels. I'd rather get caught by the police with it in that mind state than get caught without it by some of these dudes out here in the streets. But once I started changing my life, I realized that one of the most simple things that I could change was the situations I hung around. If I felt like I needed a gun to go in that environment, I didn't need to be in that environment. If I felt like I had to have my heat on me to go around certain people, I didn't go around certain people. And you will be surprised, just those changes of that nature, how much of a positive impact they had on my life. But when we practice that form of segregation, you wouldn't believe what happens. And just me doing that, I started getting more clarity, because when the noise is gone, you can hear and see things more sharper. When the negativity is gone and you trying to focus on the positive, you get more clarity in life. you get more clarity and realize that I'm not, you know what I'm saying, maximizing my life. You get more energy because you're not drained by the foolishness and the negativity. You actually get more time. When you cut off time from negative people and negative places, you get more time to yourself. Time that you used to waste, now you can put that time toward building. Once you start cutting the negative people and the negativity and the negative situations off, you get better relationships. When you start surrounding yourself with more positive people, when you set standards, better people come. You get growth. You start seeing progress in areas you've been stuck in for years. And that's me. I had no vision. I had no real purpose. But once I cleared up the clutter and started distancing myself from the negativity and using my time more productively, I realized my vision in life. I realized my purpose in life. And I started taking positive steps towards getting to be that person that I want to be. And like I said, you'd be surprised. Just think about it. If you remove just 1 hour of negativity, mindless scrolling on Facebook, gossip, worrying about people who don't support you, indulging in the negativity that goes on in Facebook. If you take just 1 hour a day, that's 7 hours a week. That's a whole work day. And imagine what you could accomplish if you start applying that work day to bettering yourself and bettering your life. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, imagine what you could accomplish in an entire work day if you really set your mind to it. Like, it's crazy though, but we need to make it happen. We need to make it happen. If we want to accomplish anything in life, if we want to inspire our kids or inspire the people around us to accomplish things in life, it starts with us. It starts with our mindset, because regardless of what, our kids look at who we hang with. If all they see is gossip, what do you think they learn? If all, you know what I'm saying, they see you watching on TV is bogus reality shows that promote the same negative stereotypes that keep us in this situation, what do you think, you know what I'm saying, they're going to do when they get older? And believe me when I say this, you can say what you want to say, and everybody has their own opinion, but I would be willing to bet. And like I said, I've looked it up, you know what I'm saying, I did my research, and I say that even the people who say they not into the negativity, not, like, if you soak it up, if you watching these reality shows, you know what I'm saying, Basketball Wives and what else, Bad Girls Club, if you were watching this stuff, you were taking it in, you were taking in the negativity, and you were feeding the ratings, and you were feeding the negativity. So by default, that makes you a negative, toxic person. That means you're attracted to toxic stuff. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. And like I said, I know because the TV is toxic. The TV is toxic. And just like I said, I had to change what I watched. Change what, now you catch me watching sports, or more than likely old reruns of old shows, family type shows, or my favorite show right now is Homestead Rescue, because I'm getting ready, to get in the homestead mindset and getting ready to put my homestead together. But we got to get right. We got to get right. We got to get practical. And to get started today, this is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be doing. I'm going to give you the game. And see, that's everybody, when I was young, everybody talked about the game. And I'm going to tell you, if you've been listening to the podcast, that's all I try to do. That's all. But like I said, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, a lot of us is not on that page to accept it yet. And that's cool. A lot of us still prefer the negativity, and that's cool. But I'm going to keep on giving the game. So I'm going to give you the game on how you can start getting it together and getting right. And the first thing you need to do is audit your environment. And what I mean by that is you need, first of all, write down the top 5 people or things that consume your time and attention aside from work. Write down the top 5 things or people that consume your time and your attention. And after you do that, ask yourself, do they uplift me or hold me back? And this is why I say, with anything, just like I tell my coaching clients, you got to be real with yourself. I'm not asking you to tell me nothing. If you want to share it in the chat, feel free. I always encourage people to share insight, share comments, and that, because this helps future people when they see this video. It helps. So what you need to do then, like I said, ask yourself, really, be honest with yourself. Does this person uplift me and push me forward? Or does this person hold me back? Is this person a negative person or is this person a positive person? And just like I said, positive meaning, does this person practice what they preach? And just like I said, the number 1 rule is love thyself and love thy neighbor. Treat others as you would want to be treated. And just like I said, respect, dignity, support, all these people providing that. And if they not, it's time to do some cleaning. It's time to do some cleaning. And next, number 2, something I started doing. Clean up your social media. Unfollow, mute, block anything or anyone that promotes negativity, drama, or consumerism. Because it's all negativity. It all adds to the negativity. It all adds to the negativity. Replace them with pages about business, mindset, culture, spirituality, wellness, and excellence. Excellence. If you black excellence. If you brown excellence. White excellence. Whatever it is. We need to start, like I said, clearing out the clutter and clearing out the negativity and blocking the negativity and start letting more positive in. Number 3, set boundaries. Limit phone conversations with energy drainers. Turn off notifications and set growth hours. Set growth hours on your phone. Set your, turn off your notifications for an hour a day, 30 minutes a day. And if you don't do nothing but meditate. Get you a mantra, a positive, affirmation. Take your hour a day and just repeat that positive affirmation and just start flooding your life with positivity in replace of the negativity. And you'll be, it just like I said, 30 minutes to an hour a day of just taking the time to repeat a positive affirmations. Deep breathing exercise. It helps. It helps. Make your peace and purpose non-negotiable. Cut people off. Cut people off. And just like I said, people ain't gonna like it, but that's the negativity. That's the negativity. If I tell people, I have to cut myself off. I have to alienate myself. People, he think he all of that. He think he better than this. I'm better than the bullshit. I know that. But I'm not, I don't consider myself better than anyone else because I don't compare myself to anyone else. I am me. I am an original. So it's never about anybody else. So it's never about feeling like I'm better than anybody else. It's about doing what's best for me. The same way everybody else does what's best for them. But once you do that, you have to rebuild your time. You have to rebuild your time. You have to start feeling that time because like they say, like my grandmother used to say back in the days, idle mind is a devil's workshop. And like, I never knew what it meant to the extent that I do now. To the extent that I do now with seeing my people and seeing us in this turmoil that we in. But we need to start using our time more effectively. Use your time to read a book, watch an empowering video, plan a side hustle. I help with on small business setup. Get at me. Let's plan your side hustle. Work out. I'm waiting till I get released from this doctor because I ain't been able to do nothing but working out, meditating, praying. All of that's good. All of that's positive spiritual, it's positive physical, and it's positive time spent on you, bettering yourself. Also, spend time with family, serve in your community. Like, there's so many things that you can do when you declutter your life, when you put away the negativity and block out the negativity. There's so much positive stuff that we can do. Okay, cool. We still got some time. And number 5, like, reconnect with like minds. This is crucial. This is crucial right here, because contrary to what people believe, this is the thing that, you know, gets me down with so many of the positive people. So many people that are in that mindset. So many people that want to be in that mindset. So many people that practice being good people. Like, they get to the point now where they, like, you know what I'm saying, I was before. They get segregated, and they get so segregated to the point where they end up by themselves. And that's not good. That's not good at all. Because everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs a system. We thrive better with support. We thrive better as a group, as a neighborhood, as a family, as a community. And that's how it was designed. Do you realize we all connected? We all connected spiritually. We all connected spiritually. So we do have an impact on each other. And that impact could be positive and negative. So, like I said, I don't want people to segregate from everybody and just end up being by ourselves, because that would be counterproductive. We need to reconnect with people who are on the same page that we're on. And simply put, people who want to be better, people who are making an effort to be better. That's what I'll say. Not people who want, because you got a lot of people that will talk to you and tell you that they want to be better, that they're trying to be better, that, you know, they are going to set positive goals, or you will have people to tell you that shit. But you see it in their everyday life. That's all you have to do. Watch them long enough. Like I said earlier, see who they spend their time with. See what they spend their time doing. And you can tell. But we have to surround ourselves with people in person or online. Like, believe me, I've ran across some amazing business groups. I've, you know what I'm saying, ran across a men mental health group. You know what I'm saying, where men are able to share experiences, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that they're going through from other men who, you know, share positive feedback and try to uplift, you know what I'm saying, and help each other out. You know, so it's not about, you know what I'm saying, just being like in person. Like, join a group. I have a group, United in Prosperity, United for Prosperity. Like, I try to post positive stuff in the group, but right now I'm building the group up. Eventually, we're going to start doing more group activities, and I'm going to start, you know what I'm saying, getting together with the group and start, like, planning events, whether it's online events, whether it's, you know, in-person events, because we have to start reconnecting. We have to start, you know, that's why I always tell y'all, reach out. You know what I'm saying? If you in the process of getting your mind together, you know what I'm saying? If you in the process of getting your life together, you in the process of getting your life on track, you in the process of bettering yourself, bettering your career, that's why I tell you, like, get at me. I'm a hustler. Like, you believe me, I'm me, man. Like, I want to help everybody. It's not about the money. So a lot of times when you see the price, you know what it's just like I was in the streets. Like, I'm going to put a price on it so we can get a starting point. But it's negotiable, because if you really want it and you're really trying to get it, then I'll make it possible. But I'm not giving it for free, because just like I said, people don't respect it. We don't respect it. And y'all know that. We don't respect it. It's cheap, or it's this, or it's that. You know what I'm saying? And no, the game is not to be sold. It's to be told. But it's not to be told to the wrong people. It's not to be told to the wrong people. So people know the same thing I give in my courses, I give in conversations. it's not an issue with me because it's about uplifting. So we need to start connecting with people, and not just anybody, specific people. Start connecting with people who share your values. Realize what your values are first. Like I said, I don't know if a lot of people got to that point. I had to go back and reevaluate and get my values together and realize what I value. So, like you said, if you're in that process, get somebody who can help you guide through the process. Just like I said, I'm a coach. I'm not, I can't do the work for you. I tell all of my clients that we're coming to my coaching course. I can't do the work for you. You have to do the work. I can provide the framework and the guidelines and the steps to help guide you through your journey, but I can't do the work for you. That's a journey that you have to take on your own. But get with people who share your values. Get with people like me who are going to challenge you to grow. That's only if you're ready. Because like I said, I challenge people, you know what I'm saying, to make enemies because I see the best in people and they don't see it in themselves. So you have to get around like-minded individuals. I realize once I get around people, men and women who are trying to strive to be better, then me pushing them or me challenging them, that helps them. So find people like that. If you need to be challenged, link with me. Hit me up. Hit the inbox. Let's talk about it. Get with people who celebrate your wins. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They there for you. Get people, you know what I'm saying, who are going to be there and going to give you some positivity when it get rough or when it's not working. Get with those people. Get with those people who are going to promote you to push through and keep striving and to be better. Don't get with the people, you know what I'm saying, who want to help you drown in negativity. It starts with you. It starts with you and who you allow and what you allow in your space. And we have to start guarding our space with light because so many of us are walking around now brain dead. And just like I said, zombies. We can look at them. They act every day. They act normal. They look normal. Hell, they even look good. We get in relationships with them, but we don't know. They zombies. They zombies. The mental is not suited for thriving. It's not suited for success. It's not suited for, accomplishing things in life. It's not suited for that. We talk about legacy building and we talk about building and, we don't even know what building is. We don't even know what we building. We don't even know what we building. Ask people, somebody what they building. I want to build this, but I want to blow it. I want to, take trips. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, we building legacies around here. It's about what's going on and what's taking place when we not here no more. That's the biggest thing. That's why I do these videos, because regardless of what, when I'm not here no more, these should live on. These messages that I put in these videos, they should live on. They should, somebody could be surfing the web one day, looking for meaning and I hope they find this page. Because that's what it's about. It's about growth and development. It's about discussing the things that are holding us back and also the solutions that will help us overcome them and push forward. But hey, let me see. Good deal. Time is going good right now. But if we want to rebuild our families, if we want to rebuild our neighborhoods, and we want to rebuild our communities, it starts with rebuilding our minds. And that starts with segregation. It starts with segregation. I go back to it. We understand segregation.